guys, it's Danny. Today I want to repot some of the houseplants that, oh my goodness, that was my pet dove. She laughs. She scared me right now. It was very loud. All right, so today I wanted to repot some of the plants that I recently purchased from Araflora. If you remember that haul, you know that they came in this bag. They didn't come potted. So I have been keeping them like this for the past day. It is time to pot them up though. And I thought, what a great idea to take you guys along and just document this entire process. I think it's gonna be fun. So today I wanna do as many as I can. I will start with this Syngonium. Somebody's very happy. So this is Syngonium podophyllum red spot. And as you can tell, it has pink spots, not red. I don't know if there is a difference between the pink splash and the red spot. I absolutely don't know. If you guys know, do let me know in a comment below. I do find they look very, very similar. So they might actually be the same thing, just different commercial names, depending what nursery sells them, right? Oh, I forgot to tell you, give this video a like if you end up enjoying it. And hey, why not subscribe? I post mainly orchid content, but houseplant content generally very, very frequent. Oh, look at that. We do have quite a nice root system here. And I do believe that the medium is very similar to what I am using. I'm using just a regular potting mix, all-purpose potting mix that I put some perlite in. It is advertised for houseplants, so it's not something for the garden. It's not like rose compost or rose soil. It is very different than my rose soil now that I look at it. So what I will do is I will actually remove a few of these clumps. Oh, apparently there are some very big chunks of bark in there as well. Just because I don't know if this medium has pests, I don't think so, but you know, when you grow orchids for a lot of years, you tend to become very, very wary of snails. Which, to be frank, I've never seen in houseplant pots, but you never know, I guess. I have seen quite a few creepy crawlers, which not all of them are bad. I'm just a little bit of a scaredy cat. All right, that's about enough. So this is as much as I want to leave on the plant. I think I do have a few offshoots. Don't know how healthy they are, but I do believe 2 offshoots from the base. Now, here's the thing that I don't know. I don't know if this plant can actually lose the variegation. My intuition says that it can. Usually variegation can be lost since it is a mutation, and particularly with aroids, it happens quite a lot. And this type of variegation doesn't strike me as stable. I don't know. It could lose variegation, which is a little bit concerning because I'm looking at the new leaves and they don't have quite that much variegation as this leaf has. But I don't know. We're just gonna have to see about that. So I have this pot prepared, but now I'm thinking maybe it's a little too tiny. Let's see. No, it's not. I think it's okay. At least for a while. To be fully honest, I don't know how fast these plants grow. Don't know how often you should repot them. Brand new territory, but it's very, very exciting. I just have to remember that these are not orchids. So I must change just a little bit the way that I look at them. One thing that I will add is a bit of slow release fertilizer. This all-purpose soil apparently has some nutrients, but I don't know how many, and I don't know if they're still good because I've had this potting mix for a while. I just want to use it up at this point. So a bit more slow release fertilizer shouldn't hurt, particularly because this is a very fast growing plant. Ta-da! All done. How fast is this? Oh my goodness. Sometimes I'm just so over repotting orchids because it takes a while. I'm just removing the plant passport. I don't really need this. I'm just going to keep the tag, and hey presto, one plant is done. What I'm gonna do is water it thoroughly and find a decorative pot, and I'm gonna show you afterwards where I'm gonna keep it for now. And here he is. Now, before I put him in his place, a few more words about this plant. This is not a pet-safe plant. Unlike orchids and African violets, or the typical plants you see on my channel, which are pet-safe and human-safe, these guys are not. They are quite poisonous if ingested. You can touch them, you can grow them, but you have to be careful with small children and pets around your house. Hence why I have gathered a whole lot of glass cabinets and ways to protect, let's say, my birds from these guys. So do more research based on what type of animal you have, just so you see how exactly it can affect your animal. But just so you know, I will always tell you, or do my best to tell you whenever I talk about a certain plant, if it is pet safe or not. Because this is something I see people don't really talk about. And I don't know about you guys, but I've always had birds. And I'm sure many of you have pets, and you know that some really like to nibble on plants, particularly cats. Birds are the same. Dogs, maybe not so much, but kitties and birds, oh, they do. They like to try out stuff. So just so you know, be careful. Other than that, this plant is gorgeous. I absolutely love this muted, dusty pink variegation that it has. One thing that I will try to figure out is if it is stable or not, if it can revert. These plants can absolutely go back to green, which is a natural coloration for them. This is a glitch, it's a mutation. It's not very, very healthy, let's say. We like it. It's not in the benefit of the plant most of the times. So if that happens, typically people like to cut them down to a note which still contains some variegation and try to preserve that variegation, which is something very interesting. And I cannot wait to try it out. If I have something reversed, you know, that's really interesting for me. I don't know if this plant will do so. I'll try to put a message on the screen if I figure it out by the time that I upload this video. If not, let me know in a comment below. Next up, we have the beautiful, well, there are 3 of them, but beautiful Begonia Autumn Ember. I got 3 of them because, as you can see, they don't look spectacular. So I'm okay with that. We'll see how many of them survive. I wanted to put one of them in a terrarium, see how it does compared to my glass cabinet. Speaking about which, again, this plant is poisonous to pets. The most poisonous part is underground, apparently, but just to be safe, keep it well away from pets. So keeping begonias in terrariums may be a good idea, actually. I'm keeping mine in a glass cabinet, as you will see. So let's just see how these guys are looking like. Oh, again, we have the soil. Wow, the soil is pretty compacted, I will have to say. But again, it looks like the same thing. So I am just going to remove the top part of the soil. This is what I usually like to do. And this is because the top part of the soil typically has the most dead leaves, organic debris, even pest eggs. Stuff like fungus gnats, they do deposit their eggs in the first few centimeters of the soil. And even though I might not get all of them, it kind of just makes me feel better if I remove the top portion of the soil. The bottom, I don't care about it all that much if it's not bad soil. This one is not bad. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna leave this one like this. And I'm actually going to unpot all of them and pot them in tiny, tiny little pots. With these ones, I'm gonna show you a little trick that eventually I would like to do in my rootstock IKEA cabinet. Oh yeah, this one doesn't really look all that good, but I'm sure it can actually put out brand new leaves. So I'm just gonna remove all of these leaves which are gone or that are not hanging on anymore. Well, the good thing about this begonia is that it's rhizomous. So you can actually take cuttings of the rhizome and propagate it that way. So I just broke the rhizome there, but it can actually survive. At least this is what I read, not that I'm speaking from experience, but we'll see. I'll keep you up to date, of course. We're gonna do an update on all of these guys. Yeah, this one doesn't look all that good either, but I have a feeling it's gonna make a full recovery. All right, so I'm going to be using these 76 millimeters pots. They're 7.6 centimeters. That would be about 2 inches, I think. No, 3. I'm not good with inches. Let's see, I'm gonna try to maintain the same soil level. Oh, and also I will be adding a little bit of slow release fertilizer. There we go, just a little bit. And then just placing, ooh. This is little Maya. It's not a good idea for you to be here, honey, so I'm gonna put her back. Alrighty, so there we have it. I'm going to pot all 3 of them and then I'm gonna show you the little trick that I was talking about. So those little pots actually fit very, very well in these IKEA candle holders. I think that's what they are. They're not decorative pots, but they can definitely be used as such. And these are also metallic and very, very lightweight. Now, this is a rootstock cabinet. I will link you down below to my assembly video in case I already posted. If I didn't, I'll be sure to add it at a later date. I filmed it, but I'm not sure if I edited and posted it already. Anyway, the rootstock cabinet has a metallic background. So if you have a magnet, let's say, glued to any type of pot which is not very, very heavy to slide down, such as this, which is exactly like this candle holder, but it's black. I could not find black candle holders anymore. Anyway, you see where I'm going with this. If you glue some magnets, and I glued two, you can actually make it sit on the back. Let me show you down because this is it's a little janky. It could slide down. On the lower shelf, however, the rootstock has this little ledge. This is where the glass should sit. I removed one of the glass shelves because I'm gonna put here some taller plants, so I can attach this pot and place it on this little ledge. There is no way it's gonna slide down from this place. So this is a way in which you can keep some really high humidity plants in a cabinet like this without having to sacrifice any of the horizontal space. So that's quite neat. And of course, I'm sure there are other ideas using magnets to attach plants to this back wall. All you need to do is Google it. Google is your friend. You're gonna have so many ideas from so many different people if you just Google it. That's what I do. I love searching for ideas and just see what other people come up with. So the Begonia Red Autumn is a beautiful orangey reddish hybrid. As you can see, it is supposed to be quite easy to take care of in a home as long as you have a little bit of humidity. I wouldn't know because I've never grown this begonia or many other begonias for that matter in my life, so we'll see about that. I am keeping this one in my rootstock IKEA cabinet. At the moment, I have a variety of things here. I have a variety of things there as well. You can see a humidifier. So yeah, hopefully it's enough to keep her happy. This is my, let's say, safe haven for the plants because pests will not get here so easy. It will also be a little bit more humid here. And also, this is how I protect my birds. And I don't know, whoever wants to come in this greenhouse and eat my plants. I don't know who would do that, but maybe some people would. I don't know. Anyway, so this is how I keep them behind glass. And in this way, I can sleep good at night, knowing that even if I forget to close the door of the cage at night of my birds, they will not roam around and eat the plants they're really not supposed to eat. And the last plant we're gonna work with today is the Alocasia mycolitziana variety fried deck, as the tag says. Again, this is not pet safe. All of the plants today are poisonous, so be careful. I will of course place it in my glass shelves yet again. This one might require a bigger pot. Let's just see what we have here. One cute thing about alocasias is that they can actually be propagated through bulbs. They produce tiny little tubers or bulbs underground, right between the roots. So if we find any of these bulbs, we can definitely propagate this plant. So let's see. Okay, quite a tiny root system. I do see some growths. I don't actually see bulbs though, but that's okay. No problem. This girl needs a bigger pot though. As far as I've seen from other people, it can create quite a big root system. So if I put it in a tiny little pot, not sure if it's gonna be all that great. So let me find a bit of a bigger pot. And there we are. I found a 13 centimeter pot, which is great. So again, the same thing, just putting some potting mix. I hope I have enough potting mix. And then placing the plant inside. I might stake this plant, at least at the beginning until it straightens itself out. I might just have enough soil. Actually, I think I need just the tiniest bit more. Do I though? Yeah, I do. Hold on. I want to leave a little bit of space because typically what I like to do is place a layer of bark at the surface. This is like mulching. Number one, it prevents this horrible perlite from floating everywhere. And also, when it's gonna start to get browny or greeny because of algae, you're not gonna see it, it's gonna be under the mulch. Also, I did observe that fungus gnats have a much harder time whenever, or better said, ever since I started to add that top layer on top of my orchids. Do you guys remember I used to have a lot of fungus gnats flying? I don't anymore. I barely have anything ever since I started to use that layer. Maybe there is a connection. So I'm not gonna fill this all the way up because I might put a layer of bark. But because I'm not yet entirely sure when to water these plants, I don't know how fast they drink, I'm gonna let this be like this. I can add it further on. So now, what I really wanted to do is stake this plant a little bit. I don't know if I can do so. Hopefully I'm not gonna damage anything. This is not an orchid. Orchids are so much more vigorous. So I placed a few bamboo skewers. Then I'm gonna use these floral ties to just loosely tie these leaves and the stems actually. Hold up, oh my gosh, I forgot. Hold on. I have these hook stakes that I use with orchids, but they are ideal for this plant because they're not gonna harm it in any way and they're just gonna keep the leaves up. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Ta-da! Look at this. Oh. Alrighty, I'm gonna give you a close-up when I finish. I'm gonna tell you about these stakes. Hold on. Okay, there we are. This new leaf looks wonky as heck. I cannot really do much about it, but I'll give you a close-up on these stakes so you see how they look like. I personally have them from repotting.com, which is one of my long-term sponsors and collaborators. I received them in PR. They are based in the USA, and I'll see if they still have them on their website. They sent these to me a very long time ago, and I always use them with Phalaenopsis. I don't know if they still have them. If not, do check on other places like Amazon, eBay, maybe even orchid nurseries. They are metal stakes that are actually covered in a sort of rubberized coating, so it's not the metal itself. Some metals can actually be detrimental for plants. They can attack the tissue. It's better to get coated hooks. If you intend to make them yourselves, be careful what type of metal you're using. Some plants are sensitive to some metals. They're perfect for holding up leaves. They're also perfect for holding Phalaenopsis flower spikes, because the spikes do tend to arch. They're beautiful, but look at that. I really hope this leaf will turn upside down. I'm gonna try not to bother it too much. This was unfurling in the box on the way. That's why it looks like this. So I'm hoping it can arrange itself. But if it doesn't, it's not like I can cut the leaf because, as I was saying, a new leaf will sprout from right here. You see, I think I can already see it. It will sprout from right here. I could cut it from here at the top, but I just don't wanna. Okay, so I'm gonna water this as well and come back to show you where I keep this one as well. And here's the Nicosia. I keep her in the rootstock cabinet together with everybody else, very close to this humidifier. I heard Alocasias really do like their high humidity. Now, I'm going to experiment a little bit with this limit, obviously, but for now, because this one is a little bit stressed, as you can see, I am just going to baby it a little bit. And when I manage to propagate it, get some bulbs, get some divisions from it, I of course do want to try it out in other types of humidity, see what the challenges are, see how it behaves. For now though, it's the only plant that I have, so I'm gonna baby it, I'm gonna treat it right, and yeah, I'm gonna do my experiments later when I have multiple of these. And here's where my Syngonium is residing for the moment. The birdies, look at them, they're in that period where they want to lay an egg. 2 eggs each actually, so that's why they're so loud. They can go out, by the way, but they just want to sit inside and go to the nest and do their thing. Anyway, so this is where I am keeping the Syngonium, again in a glass cabinet. And in this way, I can rest assured that my birds don't really reach it. Also, I do have another one of these glass cabinets, which I'm gonna show you how I arranged, how I mounted the lights, what lights these are. They're all from Amazon. Nothing super special. They're not necessarily grow lights, but yeah. I'm gonna talk about this detailed cabinet in a different video. For now though, this is where he will sit. This is not a very arranged setup. It's gonna be better, but for now, you'll have to do. All right, here we are a few weeks later, maybe almost a month. Let me give you a little update before we end this video. So first off, here are the begonias. Look at that. They're starting to grow. They have handled everything very, very well. You can see the brand new leaves are green, but I do see some very red leaves starting to grow there as well. Pretty happy. One of them will go in the biorb. I'm gonna redo the biorb, so I'm thinking of adding one of them to the biorb. We'll see. Down we have the Nicosia. I will eventually cut this leaf. If you remember, of course you remember, it was like a few minutes ago for you. This was the new leaf that grew in the box. It doesn't look so good, but there is a brand new leaf. Look, right there in the back. So I can definitely cut that one and just tidy up a little bit this plant, but she's doing well. And then we have the Syngonium, which is right here. The brand new leaves are a little bit distorted. Not sure why, but I do have some new shoots from the base. Let me just really overexpose the image so you can see them. Those look good. You see the brand new leaves here, they didn't fully open properly, so I'm not entirely sure what that's about. Maybe it is a humidity thing, maybe it's just getting adjusted to the humidity I have here in the growth space. I don't know, I might cut this portion, propagate it. Maybe I'm gonna cut the brand new shoots, I don't know, we're gonna see about that. He's okay, it's just that the new leaves are not necessarily the prettiest. I do have the variegation still though, but I'm thinking I will tidy up this plant. So that's about it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out with me today. So if you have ideas about subjects regarding these plants, if you want me to film some type of subjects, do let me know in a comment down below. I'm curious to know what you guys want to learn more about regarding these plants. So that said, I hope you have a great day. Subscribe to my channel for more orchid videos, tutorials, experiments, updates, and other fun orchid subjects. If you wish to support the channel, do consider becoming a member or visit the merch store linked down below in the description. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook. It's always nice to stay in touch there as well. And I'll see you all next time. Bye!